And we're starting. Okay, hello everybody. I'm Yanay from the design team of Editor X. I have Ido here with me. He's gonna answer your questions if you have any on the live chat. The thing we're gonna do today, we're going to perform this. I'm gonna share my screen now so you'll see. So we're going to build this template. It's a one-page template. It's a landing page of coming soon. And as you see, when I scroll down, I have this reveal effect. I have this transparent video which comes out of this hole. And then it stops scrolling. And other content is keep on scrolling up till the last section. We'll cover it this way. So what's the magic here and how we're going to build it? First, I want to show you like the structure of the main feature here. So I just make a grid here and show you like the basic idea. So I'm applying a 3x3 grid, and I will add a container here on the first cell right here in the top. And I will give it the color like the same, like the hole, which was this color. I've already set up my theme and my colors, and later on you'll see the typography. I will remove the border and stretch it over. First, duplicate one and put it over here. And this one will be the color of the mask that we're gonna use. So we'll have a mask that is gonna sit right here. Like we have this hole, and this is a mask to hide this video when she comes up like that. So this is the mask, and it's gonna be stretched right here, and this is gonna be our hole, and I add star shape that will represent the video. Something like that. And now I will gonna change the grid a little bit. So I'm going to edit grid and set up the first row to be 300 pixels. And next one too. And last one I'm gonna make like really long. So I have like a long scroll. Let's make it 2000 pixels. And now, let's see, when I scroll now, it's just like a regular scroll, yeah. So what I want to do, while I'm scrolling, I want this hole and this mask to stay in place. And I want this star to come up and behind the mask and get in through the hole like that. So I go and select this one. And under scroll, I'll set it to be sticky. Under the scroll effect, and same one for this one. And for this one, I want it to stay in place while scrolling, so I have to calculate this height over here. So the height, I already know that I set in the grid to be 300 pixels. So I can, in the sticky properties here, I can set the top offset to be 300 pixels. So now this container would stay here, and this container would stay here, and only the star will scroll up. Now let's set the background to be, the background to be in the same color as the mask, so you wouldn't see the mask, and it would be hidden like that. And if I won't change the layers order and just set it like that, you'll see that the star is going this way. I want the hole to be in the back. Let's name this one the hole. And this one will be the mask. And now when I scroll up, that's the magic. But yet, I do see the star here on the bottom side, on the bottom side. So what I want to do, I want to make sure that this area would be always larger or higher than the viewport's height. So this part will always be hidden. So what I'll do, I go inside the grid and set up this height of the first two rows to address the viewport height. So let's set it to be more than 100 VH. So the first one will be 55 VH. And also the next one. So now I have 110 VH. So I make sure that this area is below the fold always. Sorry, I forgot something very important. I need to update also the offset of the sticky to be not 300 pixels, but 55 VH. So now it will stay here and not here. And now let's see it. And that's the idea. Now, excuse me, I will go for the actual design. Let's start. So I'll make a new blank section here. I will just delete this one. And let's start from here. So first, I want to apply the grid. And let's see what kind of grid do I need here. And let's start with the first fold. So actually, I'm going to use a grid for the whole scroll here. It's going to be one grid. And I go fold by fold. So the first fold, I want it to be one row for the header area. Next row for the main content here with the whole. The next row will be here for this part. And another fourth row I'm gonna use for the part that we've seen before that is below the fold. So I can control the exact location of this area. So let's see it. I want to apply also 3 columns. I'll show you why. I want one column here, one column for the main content here, and one column for the right side. And 4 rows. And now let's do just a little bit of math. So first row would be 30 VH. Next row would be 55 for the main content. Next row would be 15. So altogether, it sums up to 100 VH. And that's another row for what's happening below the fold. So another 15 VH. Now let's give it the background color. Now let's start adding the content. So first I want a title. And I'll just go here and grab it from here. And now I'm gonna give it the exact font and the size that I want. So I'm using the theme. I will use heading 3 for the main title. Let's make it like a little bit bigger like that. And I'm gonna use the scaling text to set up to be a little bit smaller in lower devices and a little bit bigger in larger devices, like that. Now for the position, I will set it to be docked to the left. Let's say 50 pixels from the left and 40 pixels from top. Next thing I want to do, I want to add like the main thing, the hole and the mask. So under the media, I can see the media that are already uploaded. So I have the hole here. Let's align it like that and set it to be 100%. So it's 100% of this grid cell now. The height is currently set to auto, so it would scale proportionally, but I want to set it to be 100% also in height. And I want it to set to be reaching up to here or down to here. So I'm going to use the grid area to set it up like that. The grid area is a very useful tool to do such things. And let's see how we're going to use it. So I have the first row here. First row is starting on line 1 here and ends at line 2. And the next row is starting at line 2 and ends at line 3 here. So now it's on row number 2. And I want it to reach up to here. So let's change it to set up to number 5. Let's now add the mask just over the hole that we already added. So it's going to be just exactly the same. So I will position it like that, set it to 100 in width and also 100 in height, and set it up to be in the grid area up to row number 5. So as you can see, I have the mask that sits right above the hole. And let's give it a name. So that would be the mask. And that would be the hole. And let's set up the color of the hole. So I want them to be opposite. Right? So this would be like that. And this would be like that. So we have the hole, we have the mask. And let's do the scroll down and the arrow. I will go here and add a title. Let's set it to be scroll down. Line it to the center, and let's set it to be heading 1. So it's going to be big, and I'm going to set the scaling text to be from, let's say, 30 to 100. And the width, let's set to a little bit less, let's say 80%. So it's here, and just like that. And let's add from the media. I have the arrow here. And it seems to be about something like that, yeah. I will stack them together so they will address the layout together. And align it to the center. And now they sit together on the same grid row. And I want to give it like a negative margin here. So let's set it to be minus 60 pixels. So it sits just a little bit above. Cool. So now let's keep on going for the next fold. The next fold is gonna be with the character and with this content. So I will just go here and simply add another grid row here that is going to be set up to 100 VH. And let's add just another small one here for another 15. Now let's add a title here. Again, I'm going to copy the text from here. And I'm going to use, again, the theme manager here, just like that, and set up the scaling text from 20 to 40. So again, it will be 40 on larger devices and 20 on the mobile. And for the other text and buttons, I already used the design assets here, so I can use them. As you can see, I have the full thing here already made, or I can use just a paragraph and the button. And let's set it up together, align it and stack them. So this I want to be exactly in the middle of this row. So I will align it like that and dock it to the left again with 50 pixels. And let's set the width to be 80%. So it's 80% out of this grid column. On the middle grid column, I'm gonna add the main character. And it's gonna be aligned just like that. And let's set it up to 95%. So it will be just a little bit smaller than the grid hole. Just like that. And now let's add just another grid hole here for our last fold, which is gonna be another 100. No, sorry, this one's gonna be 90 VH, and soon you'll see why. And let's add a container here. So this is gonna be our last fold, which is the yellow container here. So let's give it a yellow color. And just like that. And we add another container inside for the content. Let's make it like 50%. And for this container, I'm gonna set up a grid for every content piece. So the first one will be here. Next one will be this head. And the last one will be the form. So let's do it. I will apply a grid here. Let's add the form. I will use again, the grid area, which is like very useful for this type of like, you see in this example, we have like a very small grid. So it would be hard to position the container inside the grid, inside the specific grid row. So we'll use the grid area just like that. So let's set up to be 3 to 4. Remove the margin. Remove the background color. We don't need the title, and let's set it up to be 100% of this container. Let's remove this margin and add some margin from here. And let's set up the styling of this form. So for this input field, I would set just a little bit bigger border. And let's set it up to be green and some corners. Thank you, Karinus. And set it up just like that. I just gave it like a big value here, so I don't need to think about it like if I want to set it up like a little bit bigger later or anything like that. So I just gave it 200. So I'm going to do the same here. Let's set it up without border. Set up the color to be green. And 200 pixels here. And now let's add the head figure. So let's add it just like that and set it up in the row number 2 to 3, sorry. And I want it to be a little bit smaller, so I set it to be 20% and As you see, if I make it small like that, the viewport, now it's getting a bit too small. So I want to give it like a minimum size of 150 pixels. And again, for the heading here, let's remove the border of the container. And for the heading, I will use, again, my design assets that I've already saved and which are accessible from any site that I own. So let's add it here, just like that. I also want to remove the min width from this form. So let's set it just to none. And let's see the layout. I will save the sticky thing to the end. Let's fix the layout on the breakpoints. It's some small adjustments. And in the end, we'll do the sticky thing. So, first you see, I forgot something in the grid. You see that the hole is getting too small when I'm going to a narrow width. So what I can do is just adjust the grid and set the main column to have a minimum width of 500 pixels, and max would be 1 FR. So now you see that it won't get any smaller than 500, only get bigger. And now let's go in the tablet, and you see that here, this gets too small or too narrow. So I want to put it on the tablet breakpoint. I want to put it just above this area. So let's go here and just add another grid hole. Select this stack and place it just above here with row 5 to 6 and full width. Let's align it to the center and middle, just like that. And align the text. And also the button. And that's the tablet. And for you see the arrow becomes a little bit too small here. So again, I can set it up to be like with min. Let's give it, I don't know, 20 pixels. Too much. Let's set it 16. Cool. And for the mobile, now the 500 min width that I gave to the column is causing an overflow in the mobile, which is not good. So I'm going to set it to be just 90% in the mobile. Now let's say I don't want the long scrolling in the mobile with the full effect. So what I do, I'm gonna make it like a regular scroll in the mobile. So I'm gonna adjust the grid here pretty simply. So let's do that. I'll add another grid over here and take this one to be in that row, just like that, and give it some margin from top and bottom. The first row, I can just grab it from here and make it smaller like that. And these rows, I can just update the values to 0. And now for this grid cell, I will set a minimum of 340 pixels. And now let's set on this specific breakpoint, I'm gonna set the SVGs to be scaling proportionally, both the mask and the hole. And I'm gonna duct them to the bottom. And soon you'll see why. Let's dock it to the bottom, sorry. Just like that. And no mean height. And let's grab this and just put it without the margin. I'm gonna just put it in the same grid row. So now they are all together. Now just let's set the layers order. So I want the mask to be above it, just like that. The hole is gonna be below it, just like that. And as you see now, she is she's down from the hole. So I want to make her push the hole down. And I'll do it with a margin. So let's say I'm gonna add 100 pixels this way. But if I set it to pixels, yeah, which actually it's pretty cool. Let's just leave it like that. Maybe the arrow could be a little bit smaller here. Let's set it to 12 on this specific breakpoint. And now I just want to update the values of these rows, just to remove them, just like that. And I think we're done with the layout. Cool. And now let's go for the effect. So let's set up the sticky as we did in the demo before. So this one is gonna be set up to sticky with, remember this row height was 30 VH. So we use 30 VH here. And same goes for the hole. And also the transparent video, I'm gonna set to sticky so it stays here. So let's set it up to sticky with, let's say, 5 VH. And now let's set up the order again, because every time you set an element to be sticky, it jumps to be the first. So you always see it. But we want to set up the order, so the hole here, the mask in front, and all the content, I mean the text, are above everything. Now let's see it. Oh, I forgot something here, the last container. The last container should be on top of everything. So let's call it last container. And it's above everything. And let's go through the breakpoints. And our mobile. Oh, on the mobile, we want to set the sticky to off. So I will just grab everything that I set up to sticky. Sticky is per breakpoint, so you can set overrides to sticky and turn it off or whatever. And one small thing here, let's set up a min width for this container. So I'll set it up to be at least, let's say, 280 pixels. Yeah, cool. Let's go up to preview again. Yeah. That's it, guys. I hope you have a good time. I did. Let's see, we have, okay. Sorry. We had some technical difficulty with the live chat. So if you have any open questions, you can ask us at the community forum at editorxcommunity.com. And you can also email hi@editorx to contact the team directly. I hope you will enjoy our new platform and have fun, guys. Bye.